Hello everybody, hello everybody. This is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. Trying to share this live session on some groups here. Thank you so much for joining.
Until I see my Redeemer, until I see the man who died for me, I will never lose my way, 'cause I'm in the race to my destiny. I'm in the race, moving on to you, Father.
Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see Damaris, Rose, Job. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Success with Bob Mwiti Live, and in today's session, I'm going to talk about how you can build your credit history. Okay, when you come to the US as an international student. All right, we are going to talk about how to build excellent credit history. Okay, for those who don't know what that is, we're going to talk about all that for those who want to come to the US as international students.
I'm gonna do the rest before me, step by step to the winning line. I'm in the race to my Father. I'm in the race, moving on to you, Father. No more turning back. I'm in the race to my destiny. I'm in the race.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And this is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. Today, I'm going to talk about credit history. Okay, what it is. Okay, and what do you need to do if you come to the US as an international student? Okay, I see a lot of international students. You know, they come here, they don't know a lot about this information, and that's why I have this show today to talk about that. All right, this is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. Can see a few people are joining. Thank you so much for joining. I can see Bonnie, I can see Pauline, I can see Connie. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. Thank you so much for joining, and this is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. I can see Julius. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, and this is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This is Success with Bob Mwiti Live. It's a beautiful Sunday here. I live in Tampa, Florida, here in the US. Okay, for those who are following me for the first time, my name is Bob Mwiti. I came to the US as an international student. I came to the US about 10 years ago, all right? And I came to do my master's here. I came for my MBA in professional accountancy, all right? Now, I think for those who follow me, you've heard my story. I struggled a lot to get out of my country to finally make it here in the US, okay? I struggled for about 8 good years to finally make it here in the US. Okay, I was denied visa many times. Okay, I was denied school as well, you know, getting into some of the schools that I was applying to. So I was just facing same exact challenges that a lot of people out there face when they try to come to the US as international students. Okay, now if you're out there and you are facing some of these challenges, just to let you know that it's not just you. Okay, it's pretty much everybody faces the same challenges. All right, you're gonna face a lot of challenges, even going to the US embassy and probably getting denied, but that getting denied the visa, but that does not mean that you should stop trying to do what you want to do. All right, so if you want to come here, make sure that you are prepared. Okay, gather all the information that you need, and then most likely you're gonna end up being here in the US. All right, I face some of these challenges, and a lot of people out there face some of these challenges because they lack the information. Okay, information can be very, very powerful. Okay, I used to lack all this information. I didn't have anyone to guide me. All right, even though there's a lot of information out there on the internet, okay, there's not one specific place where you can actually be able to find all the information that you need. Okay, and that's why I normally have this show, Success with Bob Mwiti Live, to specifically help international students and immigrants who want to come and stay here in the US, who want to come and study here, and those who want to come here and actually work, okay, and work in corporate America. Okay, like I've told you, I struggled a lot. Okay, and I bring all those experiences that I went through to share with you so that you can know exactly what you need. All right, it's gonna help out a lot of people out there, those who really follow me on what I do here. Right, so like I said, I came to the US as an international student, so I have a lot of experience on what really goes on as far as, you know, the life of international students is concerned here in the US. All right, now one of the things when I came to the US, when I graduated, I mean, not even before I graduated, when I was still in school, I started hearing about credit history. Okay, you know, credit history, I was like, what is all this? Okay, now credit history, basically here in the US, if you really want to stay here and stay here permanently, meaning that if you come to the US as an international student and you probably want to graduate and then look for a job here and then maybe establish a family here, okay, maybe buy a home, okay, get a nice car and all that kind of stuff. If you really want that kind of life, okay, at some point you will need credit history, meaning you need to show to your lender or to the banks out there, because the banks are the ones who normally lends money. You have to show them that you actually qualify for maybe for a loan. Okay, why? Because, you know, here in the US, what normally lenders do is they give loans to those people who really qualify for the loans. Okay, so for example, if you've not established your credit history, then these banks, for example, if you are going out there to get a loan, okay, these banks won't know what kind of a person you are. They have no way of verifying, you know, whether you're a good person to be trusted with the loan or not. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important that you establish a credit history, and not just a credit history, a good, excellent credit history. Okay, not just any credit history, but a good, excellent credit history. Okay, the reason is because if you have a very good credit history, or if you have an excellent credit history, it means that when the banks are lending you money, okay, they're gonna give you a lower interest rate. Okay, that's how it works here, guys. Okay, for example, let's say for example you are buying a house. Okay, mostly, I don't know what the mortgage rates are right now, probably about 5%. Okay. So the mortgage rate, let's say for example, mortgage rate is about 5%, okay, and you don't have a good credit history, okay, and you want to get a mortgage to buy a house, all right? And the market rate is about 5%. If you don't have a good credit history, or if you have a bad credit history, most likely your mortgage rate will be on the higher side. Maybe, let's say, for example, about 6%. Okay. Now, that just that 1%, it's huge. When you're talking about like mortgage, okay, mortgage, you pay mortgage in that year's time. Okay. So a difference of like 1%, it's a lot of money. Okay, this is one of these things that people don't understand. Just 1%, even 0.1%, it's a lot of money. If you look at that amount of money compounded in that year's time, it's a lot. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important that you understand what your credit history is. Okay, get to know how you need to build that excellent credit history. Okay, now the credit score is normally measured up to, I think, 800. Some of the credit bureaus out there, they measure it up to, I think, 800 or 900, one of those. Okay, but mostly 800. Okay, so for example, out of 800, if you have a credit score of like 750, that's usually like excellent. That's a really good credit score. Okay, but anything above 700 out of 800, it's usually also good. Okay, but excellent, it's above 750 out of 800. Okay, now if you want to buy a house, you really need not just good, but you really need an excellent credit history. I know a lot of you out there, when you come to the US as international students, you have those dreams of buying a home. Okay, to so many people, buying a home here in the US is an American dream. Okay, to a lot of people. Okay, so if you have that dream, okay, you need to understand these things. Okay, and that's why you need to build your credit history early. All right, now when I was a student here, I struggled, I didn't even know about all this information, little credit history and stuff like that. So I was struggling to figure out how to get started as far as my credit history is concerned. Okay. And I was applying to different credit to companies that offer credit cards, and I couldn't get the credit card. Okay. See, the thing is, for you, most of the time, for you to get the credit, for you to start your credit, okay, to start building your credit history, you need to show, most of the time, you need to show that you have credit. It doesn't make sense, okay? So for you to get a credit card, you need to show some form of credit history for you to get a credit card. So that's usually the problem with international students, because they come here, they don't have any credit history. You're not going to have any credit history, okay? And then if you try to apply to any credit card out there to start establishing your credit history, then they refuse you because you don't have any credit history. But you still need the credit, okay? And you need also to build your credit history. Okay, so those are the dilemmas that a lot of international students face. That's what I used to face when I was an international student. Okay, I want to build the credit history. I applied to credit cards, and then I can't get it because I don't have any credit history. Okay. So what can you do? What do you have to do as an international student to start building your credit history? I've told you it's very, very important that you build your credit history. For example, if you want to buy a car on loan, or if you want to buy a house, okay, on mortgage, okay, you're gonna need at least 2 years of credit history. Okay, you're gonna need at least 2 years of credit history, guys. Okay, so you need to build that early. Okay, don't wait until you graduate. That's when you start building your credit history, because I see this a lot. I waited until I graduated. That's when I was able to get a credit card to start building my credit history. Okay, so don't wait until that time. Okay, start building this credit history when you're still in school. But how do you do that? Okay, now, one of the things that you can do is you can actually approach your bank. Okay, most banking institutions here in the US, they offer secured credit cards. Okay, the way that you can build your credit history, the first way that you can build your credit history is actually by getting a credit card. Okay, mostly, for example, the cards that we get from our banks, those are usually debit cards. Okay, where you use them based on the amount of money that you have in your bank. Okay, in your bank account. Okay, but with a credit card, you can get a card to use that they give, the bank or the lender will give you a card that you can use to buy, and then you pay later. Okay, you can shop with it and then pay later. Okay, so it's called a credit card. So you can approach your bank here in the US. Once you get here in the US, you're gonna open a bank. Okay, Then for the same bank, you can approach them and tell them to give you a credit card, okay, and give you a secured credit card, meaning that you have to put in the money, but that card will still be a credit card, not a debit card, a credit card. Okay, so let's say for example you have a bank account with Bank of America. Okay, Bank of America, they give you a debit card to use for your account, okay, on a day-to-day basis. Wherever you need money, you go, you use your card to go to an ATM and then you get the money. At the same time, you ask Bank of America to give you a credit card which is secured, meaning that you give them money. For example, they can give you a credit card for like $300, okay, and you give them the money and then they give you a card that is a credit card, not a debit card, credit card. So if they give you a credit card, they're gonna be reporting whatever you pay, because for credit card, whatever you spend, you have to pay it at the end of the month. Okay, there's usually the minimum payment which you are supposed to pay. Make sure that you pay every single time. Okay, don't miss any payment. Okay, and of course, use your credit card responsibly. Okay, don't go buying stuff, okay, that you don't really need. Okay, just to build your history. Okay, early enough. Okay, when you land here, think about building your credit history. Very, very important, guys. A lot of people, they don't take this, they don't know about this information, but it's very, very important that you understand this. The reason is because once you graduate from college and now once you start, building your life here, and maybe you want a car or maybe you want to buy a house. Okay, guys. Okay, I teach you guys, I teach you information that can really help you in your life. Okay, and especially for those who come to me also that they want to do all these high income skills that we train you. These are skills that can get you jobs in the US. Okay, so when you get these good jobs, of course, you're gonna have enough money to help you buy a house. Okay, here in the US, okay, it's easy to get a house. Okay, I bought my house, I think it was about 2-3 years after I graduated from college. Okay, and I was able to do this because I had a really good job. Okay, working as an IT consultant, a high income. I had a high income skill set. All right, and that's what we teach you guys here. If you want to get into the IT industry, you can get those high income skill sets so that you can be able to get good jobs here in the US once you graduate from college. Okay, so what I said was that get a credit card. Okay, you can get a secured credit card from your bank. Okay, if you are not able to get a credit card from anywhere else, okay, get one from your bank which is secured, and you'll be able to use that to start building your credit. Okay, now the other way is to get a credit card and find someone who can consign for you. Okay, it's very, very possible. Let's say, for example, you're here, you have some friends who are already here in the US who are permanent residents or citizens. Okay, you can ask them to consign for you, all right, for a credit card. You need a credit card, guys, even if you don't need it to just buy. For example, even if you have money and you don't really need a credit card to make your purchases and do shopping and stuff like that, you still need it to build your credit history. Okay, you will need the credit card to build your credit history. Very, very important. I've told you guys, if you want to buy a house, I've told you I bought my house 3 years after I graduated from college. So within 3 years, you're gonna start, trying to do these things, building houses, buying houses, or maybe buying a car, boat, blah, blah, blah. If God blesses you, all right? So you need that credit history so that you don't have to pay a lot of interest rates. I've told you guys, if you don't have good credit history, or if you don't have enough credit history, then the interest rates, the ones that you are given, are usually the high one. Okay, very, very high interest rates. Okay, I've told you, like for example, if you're buying a house, then the market mortgage rates is like 5%. You're gonna find yourself being given like 6%. It's a lot of money if you count, because mortgage you are given for 30 years time. You're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that you lose just because you didn't have enough credit history. Okay, now another thing is that another thing that I've said is that you can actually get a consigner who can consign the credit card for you. Okay, so that now you can start building your credit history. Okay, all right. Another thing that you can actually do is, to rent an apartment Sometimes there are some, companies out there that have apartments that they rent out. And if you rent an apartment, they can report that to the credit here, to credit bureaus. Okay, here in the US. Okay, so if you do that, then you'll be able to build your credit history. Okay, but most of the time, also a lot of these companies, they don't want to rent you because you don't have the credit history. Okay, so out of all this, actually the easiest way to build a credit history is approaching your bank and telling them to give you a credit card which is secured, meaning that you give them the money. Okay, you give them the money, okay, as security, and then they'll give you a card which you're gonna need to keep on paying for it wherever you use it. And I've told you, you use the card, and at the end of the month you have to pay at least the minimum amount that you have to pay. Okay, otherwise if you don't pay, then your credit score will go down. Okay, and the moment you have a bad credit score here in the US, you can't do a lot of things. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people here, they make those mistakes. They come here and then they overspend, they misuse their credit cards, and then their credit history goes down. Okay, I mean the credit score goes down, and they can't be able to get loans and stuff like that. When you're here, you at some point you'll probably need some loans. Okay, even for business and stuff like that. Okay, buying a house, buying a car. Okay, you're gonna need these loans, guys. Okay, most of the time when we start here, we start from nothing. Okay, you need these loans for you to grow. Okay, for you to get that car that can help you move from point A to point B. Okay, when I came to the US as a student, my first car that I bought, it was a junk car. Okay, I bought it when I was still in college. Okay, when I had earned some money, I rubbed it, and I was able to get a junk set of wheels. Okay, that I didn't trust a lot. But once I got the job, I needed a better car because even that car used to break down a lot most of the times. Okay, so when you get blessed with a nice job and everything, so you will need some of these things. Okay, buy a good car that can help you move from point A to point B, go shopping or go to work and stuff like that. So for you to get a good car, most cars here, like for example, a nice car will cost you maybe about $15,000 to $20,000. Okay, most of the time we don't have that kind of money to pay, so you're gonna need like a car loan. Okay, and for you to get a good for you to get a good loan with really good interest rates, okay, you will need your credit history. Okay, you will need your credit history, guys. Okay, that's why it's very, very important when you come here in the US as an international student, start building your credit history as early as possible. Okay, when I bought my first car, not the one that I bought when I was in school, that was a junk set of wheels. Okay, when I bought the car, a good car that I bought once I graduated from college, now when I was working, because I started building my credit history after I graduated from college. Okay, 3 years later. No, 2 years. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years later, because I got my first credit card in 2012. Okay, I came to the US in 2009. Okay, no, I got my first credit card in 2011. Sorry, after I graduated. I think it was in August 2011. All right, but I came to the US in 2009. For 2.5 years. Okay, for 2 years, I didn't have any credit history. Okay, so now when I got this credit card and I got my first job in 2012, I remember it was January 2012, and after working for a few months, I had enough money now to help me put a deposit to get a car. Okay, but because I didn't have enough credit history, okay, I didn't have enough credit because I started building my credit history in 2011. Okay, in August 2011. And here in 2012, I wanted to buy a nice car. Okay, a car to take me from point A to point B because I already had a good job as a consultant. Now, because of that, I was given the kind of interest that I was given crazy. All right, I was given 11% interest. 11% interest. And here in the US, you can buy a car for 0% or 0.1 or 1%. Okay, all right. If you have really good credit history, okay, you can buy a car for almost like nothing. Okay, all right. No interest rate. Like they give you these, crazy interest rate, like 0.0 something percent. Okay, meaning you are paying very little. Okay, on top of the loan that you get from the lender. So I was given 11%. I think it was 11 or 12%, one of that. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so my car would have cost me almost 15,000, no, about $10,000 more. Okay, at the end of the repayment period, which is usually, I was given 6 years. Normally you are given 5 years, but if you have a really bad credit history, or if you don't have enough credit history and you're given like a very high interest rate, they normally try to stretch it out. Okay, and you're given like six months, which is like, 6 years, which is like 72 months. So I was given 6 years, okay, on I think 11 or 12% interest rate. Okay, which was crazy. A lot. Okay, it would have cost me more than $10,000 to repay that loan. Okay, so, and it's because I didn't have enough credit history. Okay, because I had only like 1 year of credit history, so it was not good enough. That's why I was getting this crazy interest rate from the lender. Okay, that I was buying the car from. So that's why it's very, very important that you start building your credit history early enough. When you come to the US, okay, you start building your credit history early enough. Once you come here, start thinking about, how do I start building this credit history? Because you're gonna need it. Once you graduate, you're gonna need it. Okay, once you are blessed with that job and you need to start now, start your life here and, maybe buy a house, buy a car, buy a boat, blah, blah, blah. You're going to need good credit history, okay? Enough credit history for you to get really good interest rates, okay? So for my car, I was given that bad, crazy interest rates, okay? But what I did is, because I didn't want to pay all that kind of money, what I did was I used to pay more, okay, to my principal. Okay, let's say for example, every month I'm supposed to pay like $400 for the car. I would pay more than that. I would put an extra $500 on top of that. Okay, and which would cover my principal amount. Okay, so I was able to actually pay off my car within a few months. Okay, and you can only be able to do this if you have a very good job out there working in corporate America. Okay, a job that pays you really, really well. Okay, that's why it's also some of the programs that I teach here. These are programs that really helps you when you go out there. You can have really good skills that can help you get really good jobs. Okay, and with these good jobs, you can be able to pay for these car loans. For example, if you get a car loan, you can be able to pay for that. Okay, if you even want to pay extra money on top of what you pay monthly for your principal amount, you can do that because you have a good job. Okay, that's why having a good job is very, very important. I keep on preaching these guys all the time. If you come here in the US, okay, don't limit yourself to those low paying jobs. Okay, think. What kind of jobs are those other immigrants doing? Okay, mostly Asians. Okay, they have like really amazing jobs here. Okay, if you have the brains, don't go for those low paying jobs. Okay, get those good jobs, work in corporate America, and you can be able to now afford some of these things. You can be able to afford a very nice home. Okay, homes here, guys, they are not even that expensive. Okay. Well, it depends with where you are, okay. But actually, getting a home, it's affordable, okay, as long as you have a very good, stable job, okay. So if you're coming to the US as an international student, okay, dream big. Okay, dream big. What are you gonna be? Who are you gonna be once you graduate? Okay, what do you want to be? Okay, do you want to be working these low paying jobs and yet you have the brains? No. Okay, get trained somewhere. Okay, there's so many high income skills out there that can train you. Okay, that you can get trained on. Okay, there's high income skills out there that you can get trained on. That can really help you get really good jobs here in the US. Okay, and like I said, guys, you're gonna need a very good credit history. Okay, you're gonna need a very good credit history, and you'll need to start building that credit history as soon as possible. Once you get here in the US and you start going to school, don't wait until you graduate 2 years down the line, 4 years down the line. That's now when you start looking for, I want to get a credit card. I want to start building my credit history. No, don't make the same mistakes that I did. Okay, when I was an international student, okay, you've heard me saying that my interest rates for my car was crazy. Okay, all right. So if I had very good credit history, I would have gotten really good interest rate for my car. Okay, but I got this crazy interest rates because I didn't have enough credit history. And if I had started building my credit history when I landed here, then by that time I was buying my car, I would have saved a lot of money. Okay. So I was forced to be paying extra money on top of my on top of what I was paying monthly so that I can reduce the effect of that high interest rate. Okay. So, but what if you don't have that kind of money to pay extra? Okay. That's why it's very, very important to build your credit history early enough. All right. And like I said, once you get that credit card, okay, and you start building your credit, don't miss any payments. Okay. Keep paying every month. Okay. Even just pay the minimum wage. Okay. You build that, you're gonna be very, very successful here in the US. Okay. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I will see you next time when I'll talk about other issues or other topics that affect us as international students here in the US. Goodbye.